Friday, everybody.
Friday.
Yes.
Caitlin, do you have are there any words you pronounce weirdly, or like you don't pronounce them right?
Probably, but I can't think off the top.
Like, for example, my wife likes to say escape instead of escape.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Or architect instead of architect.
Yes.
There's nothing like that that you do?
Absolutely, I just don't know what.
Okay.
Well, I can think of one.
What?
Crayon instead of crayon.
I say crayon too, like
you say
just like C-R-A-N, crayon.
Must be a Midwest thing. Yeah, crayon.
The reason I bring that up is because we're going to be speaking with Meals on Wheels Chicago. They've got a new program. But now when I see the word wheels, I say wheels. Because my mom has gotten into this habit. Yeah, Cool Whip.
Your mom does that?
My mom has started doing it. I don't know if this is a lifelong thing and I'm just now noticing it.
Oh, no, you would
have. But my mom has started to put the on a lot of things.
No.
On a lot of things recently. It's entertaining.
Okay.
And I will directly like kind of make fun of her when she says like, "Oh, what did you say, Mom? What? Was it white paint that and I'll do that, but she just I do that."
She doesn't catch on or not? Yeah.
She does, but she doesn't stop. Anyway, we're gonna be joined by the folks over at Meals on Wheels in a little while to find out how local residents can help out a new program that they're launching.
I thought you were making fun of me because of the way I said moon.
Oh yes, that's true. Oh, and that must have been what cued the thought along with the cue card.
Yeah. Should we just dive right?
By the way, hold on.
Okay.
I gotta out Natalie Baumke too, because like I love the way that she says rum.
She says a lot. Yes.
Rum.
She says quite a few words like
roof.
That. Rough.
Say R-O-O-F.
She says rough instead of roof.
Yes.
Did she say bag? Weird.
Some people, the Minnesotans say bag.
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 Or bagel instead of
wagon. The wagon.
Bagel.
Bagel. Bagel is how certain people say bagel. It's bagel, by the way.
Bagel. Yeah, that's a fun. We could go down that list for sure.
Anyway, we're going to be talking about that. Meals on Wheels. Super Bowl. We're going to be speaking with that gambling addiction expert.
How did I say moon?
Mune and back. We're going to the Mune and back. And that is what we get to talk about. To kick off the show, everybody, we are joined by Dr. Fika Fest. She is Griffin MSI's head curator and NASA Solar System Ambassador. Dr. Fest, thank you for being here.
I apologize too. We do not deserve to be sitting on this stage with you. You are a genius.
Is there anything that, maybe we should get this out of the way before we dive into the art. Is there anything that you pronounce in an odd way that you're aware of?
I do say nuclear, but I've heard people say nuclear. Nuclear.
You know what?
Wait.
I think it's great that you say nuclear. I remember a couple of presidents ago, Mr. George W. Bush used to always say nuclear.
Nuclear. I have never thought about that.
Mm-hmm. I noticed these things. I don't know if it's because I was an English major or what, but I noticed these things, Caitlin. You know what? I actually have not noticed you saying anything odd because I pick up on this.
In my first job, I was made fun of for saying welcome back, because of my Michigan, I guess, my accent.
Oh, that's kind of a Chicago little back.
But I think it's gone now.
Well, we just learned that Dr. Fest, well, you originally hail from Florida. I don't know if there's any speech diet. There's probably regional stuff there.
Yeah.
But we are glad to have you here in town. You have been
first, about her history, because she just blew me away with her jobs, her degree.
Former academic from Lake Forest College. You taught there for many years.
For 13 years in their history department. Mm-hmm.
And you taught women in science.
And history, science, world civ. Yeah.
Amazing.
And so you kind of pivoted. You've been with Griffin MSI for now, did you say 16 years you've been?
9 years.
Oh, 9 years, since 2016. That's right.
Right. And I love it.
What a cool place to work. I mean, I've been going there since I was a little kid. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing the at the Henry Crown Space Center, all those artifacts there. And first of all, you've actually brought something in for us. There's a reason that she is gloved today, blue glove, because you brought in an artifact here. What do we have here? And then we'll kind of dive in.
It's rather looks unassuming, but it is from Tiffany's, and it is a compass.
If you want to put it on the table,
It's
they might be
from Tiffany.
Absolutely, yes. There we go. Made in 2001, but it flew into space, which makes it so incredible as one of our artifacts.
Wow.
It flew on a 2008 space shuttle mission, and you know, we have
it.
it.
The Discovery? What was the?
I'm trying to remember which one it was, but it was flown by, or the pilot was John Hamm, and his wife Michelle was a huge fan of the museum, and she gave it to her husband to fly up into space.
Whoa.
And then give it back to us because we had purchased it for that reason. So
I am curious, does a compass work in space?
That's a great question. It always points to magnetic north. So from a certain distance, it'll still technically work. Although, as you can imagine, they'll be able to see what's below them anyway if they're orbiting the Earth. But what's really interesting is that the further away that you fly, that you move from the Earth, the less it'll work. It won't work after a certain distance. So for this Artemis II mission coming up, something like a compass is not going to work. No GPS, no Wi-Fi, no compasses.
So did Tiffany's like make this for the flight?
It was so they did not make it for the flight. They made it in 2001, and we purchased it in 2008, which is interesting because I didn't know that Tiffany's made compasses.
I did not either. You can't just walk into their store, can you? And buy a
order it
compass?
off the internet, maybe?
What a cool thing! Thank you for bringing this in.
Well, thank you.
Wow.
And it is on our online collections, so people can see it.
Oh, if they want to log on.
Find out more.
What's the website? You can open a new tab. If you guys are joining us on our website, you can open a new tab and check this out.
So griffinmsi.org, and if they go to where all the exhibits are listed, you'll see digital collections.
Very
That's where
cool.
They go.
And on there is there other items that have
Hundreds.
also been to space.
Not to space. But that collection online has hundreds of objects.
Are they all on display physically as well? Or
not all of them are all on display, which is why it's so important for us to be able to show them to the public, anybody who logs on.
I remember speaking about the Field Museum. I think there's a stat, I'm going to botch it here, but it's something like 95% of what is in their collection is not on display. So you're getting like the top layer. Is that the case? Do you know at Griffin?
We have about 30,000 or so artifacts, but only, yes, a small percentage are out on the floor. But our artifacts include planes, trains, automobiles. They could be as large as the U-505 German submarine that we have, as tiny as little objects inside our Colleen Moore Ferry Castle.
Where do you guys keep those things?
So we do have a facility in the museum close to the U-505 where we keep them, where we work. Collections department works.
So there's a couple of wings of the building that aren't open to the public. I've noticed when I go in, because I've looked at the layout of the museum a lot over the years, because it was part of the 1892 World's Fair, and I'm like, oh, what's this?
Oh yes, right.
So it's so cool.
Historic.
Okay.
Speaking of historic, we have been talking about this Artemis II mission and some of the delays it's faced in recent weeks, but what makes this particular mission so historic?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's the first time we're going back to the moon in over 50 years. So the last mission where you had astronauts walk on the moon was 1972 with Apollo 17. And so this will be the first time we're sending humans around the moon and to come back safely, land back here. It is similar to the Apollo 8 mission, and we are the current home to the Apollo 8 command module from Air and Space. So it's very similar to that. It's to test the Orion spacecraft in which the astronauts will be flying in, the 4 of them. It will have a lot of science experiments. They'll be photographing the moon during the flyby, studying it carefully. And so we're going to be learning so much more. And this time around, they'll be able to take selfies, because we didn't have that back in 1972.
So the Orion, can we talk about the hiccups that they've been seeing with these test flights? Oh yeah.
Well, the Orion is working pretty well.
Okay.
The initial delay was weather related, which, you know, it does get cold in Florida. Having grown up there, I can tell you it does get cold there. But then as they did what's called a wet dress rehearsal, where they pumped fuel and hydrogen into the rocket, they did find that there was a leak, a hydrogen leak, and so that's what this delay has been about.
Okay.
And the next launch opportunity will be in early March.
Okay, so we're having to sit tight here and wait for this opportunity to happen. What this hydrogen leak, is it just like I don't know how to visualize this and why it's so crucial. I know everything has to work perfectly to avoid disaster, but a hydrogen leak, what can you tell us about what happened there? Is it like a drop, or is it a gas, or how does that work?
Yeah, so they fill the rockets with this hydrogen fuel, and then they kind of release it. So that's what a wet dress rehearsal is all about. And if they find any anomalies, then they postpone the mission, and that's what they found, is that there was this leak, and they would just want to make sure that there aren't anything like that moving forward into the future.
Right.
Are we going to do another wet test before we send people?
Yes, there will be another one until we're 100% nominal, ready to go.
Oh, I love
Why has so much time elapsed between you mentioned 1972? Is that what you said?
72.
So why has so much time elapsed? This is more than 50 years at this point.
Yeah, that's a great question, and there's several factors at play. So certainly budget constraints played a role all these decades. There has also been the whole technology, like the technology catching up, because we couldn't use Apollo spacecraft and rockets anymore. But then, you know, there needs to be an updating of the technology, and how do we make these systems go, you know, based on what we're currently working with, the tools and equipment and technology. And then there's a third factor that has to do with the so NASA's public, but the private agencies, private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin, who are also lending a hand, so to speak. And in fact, while this mission, Artemis II, is just going to go around the moon, the next one, Artemis III, is planned to land astronauts on the moon. And SpaceX got the contract to build the lunar lander that will take them from the spacecraft down to the moon.
Wow.
So it's a
Amazing.
partnership, and so they're sharing in the cost, if you will. They're sharing in the responsibility, and that has been a tremendous boost as well to get us back to the moon.
Cool.
SpaceX, is that Elon's company?
That is,
okay.
yes.
Okay, so what is Artemis II going to be taking into space? You said they're going to be taking selfies. I'm guessing there's
So obviously the phones are going up there.
Yeah.
Yes, they're going to be taking, well, a lot of different items related to the experiments they're going to be doing, but then they also bring up their personal items, much like this compass back in 2008. And it's going to be about 10 pounds worth of stuff. They're not going to take a lot, because every pound is carefully measured by the amount of fuel that is expended. So they're going to take up things like a little sample of the Wright Flyer. It's a little muslin fabric, like 1 by 1 inch, from the 1903 Wright Flyer flown by the Wright brothers. It's sort of, you know, a nod to the history of aviation in the United States, which is a loan from Air and Space. So they're going to fly that up, as well as a flag that was flown on the first space shuttle mission, the last space shuttle mission, and the first Crew Dragon mission. There's a flag that flew, and they're going to fly that one on board this mission as well. And then finally, Apollo 17 was the last mission. There was a scheduled Apollo 18 mission that was scrapped because it was so expensive. And the flag that was intended for that Apollo 18 mission is also going to fly on this
Better
mission.
late than never.
Exactly,
Better late than never on that. Okay, let's talk about the conditions that the astronauts are going to be experiencing on this voyage. What can you tell us?
Well, those are extreme conditions out in space, of course, but that's one of the great things about the Orion spacecraft, is it's going to provide the oxygen and air pressure needed for these astronauts to travel safely to the moon and back. It's about a 10-day mission, all in all. And they're going to live in there. They're going to eat, breathe, go to the bathroom. They do everything. They're going to get to know each other very well on this mission. There's even lockers that they can hunker down in case there's like a solar flare, extra radiation. So they thought of everything. And then as they come back into Earth, they're going to pierce that atmosphere at about 25,000 miles per hour, so fast. And the temperatures outside on that heat shield, which is totally designed to do this, is going to reach temperatures of up to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's like almost or hotter than molten lava, almost as hot as the sun. But the space inside is going to be comfortable enough for the 4 of them. It's sort of another way of looking at it is it's like an RV in space, and it's about the size of 2 minivans put together.
Wow.
So there's enough size. Space in there for the 4 of
them.
them.
Can't even
2
imagine.
minivans put together, that's tiny. Okay, so the Apollo, I'm getting this confused. Apollo is the actual spacecraft that they're traveling.
That was the mission.
So Apollo was the first mission in the late 60s and 70s, and now this is the Artemis missions. These flights are all Artemis. Artemis actually happens to be the twin sister of Apollo, the god Apollo. And so that's one of the reasons they named it Artemis, and she's also the goddess of the moon. And it also symbolically represents our having the first woman travel to the moon and back.
Okay, wow, that's so far. Okay, so how long is this trip going to be to get around the moon and come back?
About 10 days or so. They're going to launch one orbit around the Earth, which will kind of slingshot them towards the moon. They're going to travel around the moon, and then they're going to be slingshotted back to the Earth, and then land off the coast of California.
Wow.
When they are on the dark side of the moon and they're going to be going all the way around it, will they be able to your knowledge, see anything, or will it completely be in shadow?
It will be completely in shadow. It's not like they'll be able to put any spotlights.
Right, because they'll be so far.
And technically it's the far side of the moon, but it is an area where you definitely won't see as much, but they'll definitely get great views of the Earth, and they'll also potentially see Earthrise, which is, if you think about the Apollo 8 mission, it was an astronaut on board that mission that took that iconic Earthrise photo that has become a symbol for Earth Day. And so this is something beautiful to behold, and they will have an opportunity to see that. As well as with the Artemis missions, they're going to be traveling further than any other astronauts ever before, further than the Apollo astronauts ever did, by about a good 4,000 to 6,000 miles.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so incredible. Okay, so what kind of information are we trying to gather? You mentioned being able to get those cool shots, but what are they looking at? What are they looking for?
Well, they're certainly going to be studying the moon, tectonics, dust, geological formations, looking at maybe even possible landing sites for the future. But they're also going to be doing some interesting biology-related experiments, and one of them is nicknamed Avatar, which is an acronym for this tiny little, like it's the size of a USB chip. And every astronaut donated blood, and they grew stem cells out of that and inserted them into this like tiny little device. And what they're going to do is they're going to, when they come back, they're going to study their blood before, they're going to study their blood after, and they're going to study whatever happened to that little sample, because they want to see what the effects are of deep space and radiation on these 4 astronauts.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Deep space radiation.
Yeah, deep space astronaut guinea pigs up there.
Wow. I thought you were going to say they're going to go on the other side, toss it out on the moon, and then come back.
Before we let you go, Doctor, can you tell us a little bit, for those who have not visited the Griffin MSI and the Space Center there, what they can learn about space travel if they've visited the museum?
Yeah, we have this updated, we opened it about 2 years ago, redone Henry Crown Space Center, where we tell the story of human space exploration. And we wanted to go beyond sort of the, what you typically hear of space, that it's for astronauts and for engineers. We wanted to tell a story where everybody is somehow involved and showcase all the different skills and careers and different types of people who are a part part of the space exploration, space industry, because we want our visitors to dream big. And so you too can be involved. So really, space is for everyone. And that's sort of the key message that we have in our newly done Henry Crown Space Center.
And to wrap it up, when can people watch this launch? When is it happening?
So the next opening will be early March, about March 6th or so.
Okay.
Most of the launches are scheduled for an hour, 2 or 3 hours after sunset.
Oh.
And that's just because of the mathematics and how they're going to orbit. It's just making sure that you check online, check on NASA's website to see exactly when the launch will be.
And weather will play a role, though. It's got to be good conditions that day,
has to be.
Or else it gets pushed back again.
Yes, so warm enough. I mean, it doesn't have to be hot, but it has to be warm enough, which is the initial delay it was just too cold.
Too cold.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fascinating. All right, Dr. Vula Saradakis, thank you so much for being in studio.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing in this fascinating artifact.
It's Tiffany's compass.
Look at that. Go get your compasses. Go get your compass from Tiffany's. I wonder how much that retails for. Caitlin, we're going to have to Google that.
I don't know.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here, but when we come back, as we mentioned, it is Super Bowl weekend this weekend. Those who struggle with a gambling addiction, this is not an easy time for you all. So we're going to be speaking with Dr. Zain Nayani, an addiction medicine specialist over at Rush University, for how to maybe mitigate some of this risk when we come back.
$10.22. Okay, I don't know if you've noticed. I definitely have. I feel like access to gambling with these phones and these apps is just growing astronomically.
Oh, yeah.
The Super Bowl is this Sunday, of course, but for sports gamblers, it could be a really slippery slope talking about these sports. So joining us this morning, this is Dr. Zain Nayani. He's a DO, addiction medicine specialist at Rush University Medical Center. So we're talking about sports betting, gambling, and how maybe you could get some help. So Dr. Zain, first let's talk about how you got involved with this particular issue.
Yeah, definitely. So by background, before I was a specialist in addiction, my other background is internal medicine. Practicing in Chicago, we see a lot of patients who struggle with both substance and behavioral addictions. So my own inability to really care for the patient as a whole is what led me to get further training and, enhance my expertise so I can, be a better provider in general for these patients.
Okay. Yeah, approaching it from both the kind of the mental side and the physical side.
Definitely.
That makes a lot of sense. How has this become so incredibly normalized? I remember when you know, it was like you had to go to Vegas to go to a casino, you know, keep the casinos on the riverboat. They took these measures to kind of make gambling itself less accessible, but it seems like with these phones and everything, now it's just like at our fingertips. Why is sports betting so normalized, and why do you think it's not seen as something as harmful as, say, going to a casino and hit like the craps table or the blackjack table?
Yeah, I think part of it is, you know, there's a change in the name, right? It's called sports betting, not like sports gambling. So I think partly how we talk about it is very much not in a non-stigmatizing way, which we should not be stigmatizing, but kind of sometimes when you talk about substances, there's more of like a terminology difference. So I think that's part of it. I think part of it also is just the fact that it's become kind of ingrained in this like ritual for people. You know, Sunday football used to be about watching the game and enjoying the actual moments. Now it's about, oh, what's my parlay doing? You know, who am I betting on and how much money can I make? So that shift in culture, I think, arises from a lot of just, you know, one, I think advertising and the companies behind it who are trying to do their best to promote their product, but also as a society, we've kind of bought into this notion that, oh yeah, this is not the same, it's different, but really it is the same.
It's kind of like fantasy football in a way, if you bet with money. I'm reading here that teenagers are getting involved with sports betting. Can you talk on that a little bit?
Yeah, that's actually very accurate. There was some studies that were published, and one actually showed that maybe 60 to 80% of high schoolers have partaken in some form of gambling.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the highest form usually probably is going to be sports betting or something virtual. It's you know, it's an easy target group because, you know, really before the age of 25, our brains aren't fully developed, especially in those years where you're a bit more, you know, early on, but you have the social pressures. The part of your brain that really helps to make responsible decisions is not fully formed. So for that reason, you're a bit more prone to, one, just social pressures, and then two, the perception of what you're doing. So for example, you and I may, you know, buy, like, for example, a scratch-off ticket and say, oh yeah, this is just like dumb luck that I won. But for that person who is, you know, not fully matured from their like literal brain, they may see it as, oh, this is actually easy money, and they become more prone to those activities.
Man. Okay. What else gets people hooked? You said you kind of approach this issue from both the biological, physiological side and the mental side. In terms of this sugar high, it's like, I think some people, it's fair to say, have a really, you know, more healthy relationship with gambling. You know, the kind of people who do it, sports betting. You know, hey, I'm going to fill out a bracket, Final Four. I'm going to bet on the Super Bowl. It's like a twice a year kind of thing, right? And maybe pick up a Powerball ticket from time to time. But what is it that goes on in some people's brains where, like, it hooks its claws into that person and it becomes a problem? Yeah,
so there's a complex pathophysiology behind it, but the simple answer is dopamine. Whenever we do anything that our body likes, the reward system is driven by dopamine. So you know, as you said, that actually most people will gamble and not have a problem. For the ones that do, it's a very devastating problem. What happens is that actual act, that actual thrill of, you know, will I win, will I lose, is the actual part where your brain does release that dopamine. And for some people, they have some risk factors. For some, it's like just their genes, having a family history, having a co-occurring mental illness like depression, anxiety, PTSD, etc. So for a lot of people, it's the environment, their genes, but also it really is your body just amplifying that reward system where your brain is not able to control it.
Okay, so the next obvious question, what are the warning signs? Maybe somebody's watching that's thinking, ooh, I like to gamble with sports a lot, but is it a problem?
Yeah, I think that there are a few questionnaires that we use. The most simple one that I like, it's called a lie back questionnaire. So the first question is, do you ever find yourself lying about how much time or how much money you spend gambling to anybody? If the answer is yes, then perhaps you're at risk. The other question, the bet part of it, is do you find yourself having to place larger and larger amounts of money for betting to get that same rush of, you know, reward? And then the final thing, which is not really a part of this questionnaire, but, you know, it's kind of that notion of chasing losses. Do you feel that the first instinct you have after a big loss is, oh, I need to gamble more to make the money back?
It sounds like alcoholism.
It's very parallel to it.
Yeah, exactly. There's probably a lot of problems where you could plug in variations of those three questions and get some pretty good insight into your behavior.
Right.
Are there groups of people, does the data say that there are certain age ranges that are more at risk than others? You mentioned under 25, our brains are kind of still developing.
Yeah, so really I think that it's kind of like on the both extremes, so adolescents and youth, as we talked about, but also our elderly are at a higher risk. And this is because they tend to have, one, more free time. Boredom, gambling is a great way to spend time and kill boredom and maybe even like meet people in a social setting, and they have finances at their disposal to actually use towards the gambling. So for that reason, they are an easy target. And oftentimes you may see, actually, even with like the more like brick and mortar casinos, they will offer like free shuttle rides from a retirement home and things like that.
Oh boy.
Definitely another high risk population.
You see those buses, with the casino logo on the side, and
the
they're
penny
just
slots.
they're going straight to the retirement home.
Okay, so I guess my question is, if you feel that one of your loved ones or your friends have an issue, how should you approach them about this topic?
Yeah, I think one, you have to be really empathetic. I think that it's easy to kind of be like, what are you doing? This is messed up. You're ruining your life. I think that approach isn't really necessarily the best approach. You got to come from it from an angle of like understanding and trying to get to the root of the cause as to why they're gambling, and then letting them know that this is a problem. But luckily, since it's a problem, we do have solutions. I think of gambling like I think of diabetes. It's a condition medically that people have, which means that by definition we have ways to treat it. So I think emphasis on not what they've done wrong, but what they can do in the future to actually get help and make the big change that they need in life is probably the best way to go about it.
It's a typical, I don't know if you can even answer this, but is there a typical time frame on recovery?
That's a hard question to answer. In general, with any addiction, we kind of think of it as a lifelong process. But you can still be in remission and recover from it. But that part of your brain, kind of the way I think of it, is the brain can learn things, but the brain will never forget. So you got to kind of make an active effort to stay on top of it throughout your lifetime and make sure that you're not exposing yourself to the triggers that do exist.
I'm almost thinking of like, okay, if you're an alcoholic in recovery, and you fall off the wagon, let's just say, oh, the beer, I'm gonna just house this beer, and then you're just off the wagon. Could that happen with a gambling addict, like a recovering gambling addict, where the Super Bowl does come around, and this person is in recovery, have a relapse from a simple situation like the Super Bowl?
It's very possible. Kind of when you think about addiction in general, the triggers are people's, places, and things. So anything, any person, any place can be a trigger that can set that off. And so a simple advertisement can tip the person off the edge, which we see there is a lot of advertising, or just those around you. You're bound to kind of be exposed to that at some level, but it can be something that does set you off. But that's why there's an importance of therapy and kind of trying to learn those tricks. So when you are exposed, what can you do to help defend yourself against that urge to go back?
To Anthony's point, isn't there like an AA for gambling addicts?
Yes, it's actually called GA.
Oh.
So it's the same 12-step model that, because addiction is addiction, right? So it follows the same 12 steps in order to help people kind of build that community and learn those skills to help refrain from going back to those habits.
Okay.
Any last advice that you'd give folks who are thinking of placing bets on Sunday in terms of an amount to keep in mind, or rules of thumb to be reasonable here?
Yeah, so gambling in its purest form should be a form of entertainment and recreation. So think of it like you're going to do any other recreational activity. Have a budget, don't surpass that budget, and think, is this a reasonable budget for my entertainment? And if the answer is no, then maybe rethink it.
Okay, so this is for the young folks. If someone's dating someone and this person that they're dating likes to gamble, is there a red flag to say this person has a problem?
I think that definitely if somebody is in that circumstance, they are the first person that may know these things. So I think from that standpoint, there may be interpersonal conflicts, but the best thing you can do is bring that to the attention of an adult who can help that person out.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last question is just, are there any, rules on the books or rules in the pipeline to protect, especially the younger set, from doing these things? Are there safeguards online? A lot of these kids have iPads and that kind of thing with working internet connections.
It's a great question.
Yeah. So I think in general, technically you're supposed to have like age verification and all that set in place, but as we know, that technology is really vast and children are very smart, so there are ways around it.
Are you 18? Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of up to the parents too to make sure they're watching what their kids are doing online and
heads up, parents.
Credit card statements.
Oh boy, don't give your kids the credit card. Yeah, that would be a mess.
And
thanks for bringing this.
Yes, yeah, fascinating info, Dr. Zain Nayani. Really appreciate you being here and shedding your insights. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Caitlin and I are going to become cooler. after our next interview.
Are we?
Not that we're not cool. We're cooler for knowing this too.
By the way, if you do want to bet on the Super Bowl, because Anthony and I do have a little bet going on, maybe make something like a challenge. Yeah, exactly. Instead of you,
I wanted to be a like a positive thing. Like I would buy you your favorite coffee. You would get me my breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
Caitlin is out for blood. She's like, no, it's got to be a punishment. So we're thinking through how to punish one another. She's gonna like make me, I don't know.
Do a 5-minute plank.
Yeah, the plank competition.
We could do a plank thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll be right back with Selena Fergazzi. She's going to be running us through some of the coolest concerts and live events that are coming to Chicago as we kind of kick off February here. So stay with us.
Hi, I'm
Welcome back. 10:36. Selena is back.
We get our monthly dose of cool.
Yes.
'Cause we sure need it, Caitlin.
Don't we ever?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so we're talking about Black Violin at North Shore Center. This sounds amazing. February 10th.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a little price, $61 plus. Let's talk about this. What
Actually, in today's ecosystem, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That is absolutely nothing.
It's a good cause.
And it's for a good cause.
I mean,
Okay.
Like
part of it,
that.
so these two guys are really cool. It's
Okay.
Will Baptiste and Kev Marcus. They met in orchestra class back in Florida back in the day.
Orchestra
They were
class.
classically trained, but
I
they
love-
loved hip hop and rap.
Yeah.
And so they found a way to combine the two. They perform it amazingly, but they have the Black Violin Foundation, which they give back to youth, providing them with music programs in their communities. So they do like 200 shows a year where they perform to young kids and they let them know, like, violin is cool.
Wow.
Just do.
Make string instruments cool.
Yeah, they're great.
They
They've worked
performed with Alicia Keys.
Wu-Tang Clan.
Wow.
They won Showtime at the Apollo. I really like these guys.
Man, okay.
I love that they did an orchestra class together.
So that's happening next week, North Shore Center for the Performing
On
Arts.
Skokie.
That's on Skokie, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we have 10 days later, we got, this is a bigger name, and she's performing at the Super Bowl, I heard, too. We have Brandi Carlile.
Yeah, she's performing America the Beautiful at the Super Bowl.
That will be, she is amazing.
Listen, her voice is another level. I get in the mood with Brandi Carlile. She brings you into this trance. She has an incredible range that she's called like the new queen of Laurel Canyon because she does a lot of work with Joni Mitchell. She works with Elton John. She's worked with Soundgarden. There's been rumors that she could end up becoming the vocalist at some point. She did a tribute for Chris Cornell with the members of Soundgarden on Black Hole Sun. If you haven't heard it, your life will be changed. Go listen to it. She's great. She's probably my favorite pick this month. I'm so glad.
Oh, you know, remember how you asked me before my favorite band, and I say the Avett Brothers? One of the band members made the album cover for Brandi Carlile.
Oh, really?
Yes. That's how I first found out about her.
Maggie loves this one. What's it? It's like Hurricane.
From Brandi Carlile?
Yeah, is there? I don't know. Well, I'll rack
Her
that.
most famous song is probably The Story. Back in the
Story.
day, Grey's Anatomy was all about that song.
Oh,
No way.
yeah.
I'll have to
I'm
look
not gonna
that
sing
up.
it because you don't want to hear me, but
I do, though.
no, you don't.
Her
just look
voice
forward on
voice
you, so I
really, it is incredible.
All right, all right. So we're moving on to,
Oh, you guys.
oh boy, February 21st and the 22nd, Gary Clark Jr. at Buddy Guy.
Okay.
What is it?
You guys, this
South
is
Loop.
a big deal.
Oh.
It's completely sold out.
Okay.
Because Gary Clark is a big name in the blues rock community. If there's any way you can figure out to get into the show, maybe go to the club, maybe see if there's any last minute, openings or something, because this.
It's not a massive
No.
venue, so.
Buddy Guys is just a really cool blues club out on Wabash in the South Loop.
Yeah.
Maybe like 200 people. It's not big.
Top.
So this sold out immediately, and I'm so glad I saw this on Facebook because I scooped up tickets when I first
There
saw
you
it.
go.
Nice.
So go follow all your favorite venues on social media.
That's a
because
secret?
You never know.
That's a good
Okay.
They're going to announce something
hack.
really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gary Clark Jr. is amazing. So he's been sort of heralded as this like new Jimi Hendrix. He is a whiz on the guitar. He has this blues rock vibe. He's worked with everybody from Tom Morello, John Legend, Stevie Wonder, the Foo Fighters. When he comes to town, he likes working with locals like Toronto Cannon, Ronnie Baker Brooks, and Dave Herrero. Buddy Guy has nothing on the calendar right now. He just wrapped up his January residency, so I imagine them doing something, but this will be.
This is
You
gonna be
can't
an
go,
amazing
like,
show.
try to find footage on YouTube after. So
There you
it's
go.
gonna be cool.
Okay, mark it down. February 21st and 22nd.
All right, a few days later, Alameda. Who is Alameda? Avondale Music Hall.
Yeah, she's going to be a name that you guys will know soon. I see big things for this girl. So the really cool thing about her, she was born in Ethiopia, grew up in Arizona. She brings this multiculturalist take on her music, which is kind of like poppy punky, a little Avril, a little Olivia Rodrigo, very kind of like really awesome songwriter who just lets it all out. But the really cool thing about her is, so she's on Top Dog Entertainment, which is the label home of Kendrick Lamar, SZA, and Doechii. Big names in that label. But she's their first rock-leaning artist.
Oh.
And so they've been putting a lot of muscle behind her. And she just did a song with Doechii, which I can't say beat up. Go check it out. It's a great song, but she's I love her. She's going to be a good show.
Her songs, I'm Over It and I Hate Your Face.
I mean, that says it all, right?
Yeah.
She's a
Huge
big
fan of Paramore.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with
Yes.
Paramore. How darling are they? Not darling, I don't know if that's the right word, but
Yeah, but Paramore, like that similar, just kind of in-your-face lyrics. and
Haley-
just, like, as
yes.
a woman and covering women in music, I just love that confidence in
The
that bravado.
head
Like,
banging.
we can be like the dudes. We can say what's on our mind.
So is she recently on that label?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe she explodes like in the next year or so
calling
being
it.
on them. Yeah,
sounds
you're calling
about
it.
right.
She's going to, especially when you have collaborations with Doechii and then
Yeah,
the label
exactly.
knows what they're doing.
Right.
Think about, actually last year at this time, all anyone was talking about was Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Going into the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Do you remember this?
Oh yeah, most watched, but I think it'll be eclipsed by Bad Bunny this weekend.
You do?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. All right.
I got big hopes for the Super Bowl halftime show this week.
Yeah. I'm curious. Okay, so what we
The
reported.
Benito Bowl, sorry.
That's all right. So he is going to be the first male Latino artist to ever headline
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
And
halftime
is this
show.
the first time it'll be in Spanish? I'm sure.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an all Spanish
Yeah.
performance, right?
It is. And he had a great press conference with Apple Music, who produces the whole thing, yesterday, I believe. And he was saying, because he joked on SNL a few months ago, like, you got 4 months to learn Spanish.
Right.
He's pulling back on that a little bit, and he's like, just have fun and dance. I just want people to dance and have fun. So, it's going to be a great show. I think there's going to be guest stars.
Yeah, there usually is.
I mean, he wants to always represent his heritage, and so
Yeah.
I think he's worked a lot with, like, Cardi B and Rosalia, so I think maybe.
Okay.
We'll see.
She might know the answer to our question about the Super Bowl halftime show.
What was our question?
There's a rule that you have to be a certain height
Oh, yeah.
to be in the crowd.
Yeah.
On the crowd. Okay, with the
Do you know?
performers, like,
Oh yeah, no.
The women,
Nobody would
the
pass.
women have to be at least
5'9"?
5'7".
Oh, 5'7".
5'7".
Okay, do you know why there's a certain height?
And the dudes have to
Okay.
be 5'9".
Got it.
I was speculating that it has to do with the camera angles.
And I
off
thought
the
safety,
stage.
which I don't know.
That's weird. I don't. But camera angles, you mean like wouldn't they be too tall?
So I think they have to be tall enough so that it
So
looks
there's people.
so that it looks like so everyone's on on camera. They're
And I
smiling
thought they
faces.
just wouldn't want somebody to get trampled.
That's
but-
right. I forgot about that.
The whole
Hey,
dynamics of the Super Bowl halftime show, like that's a whole conversation itself.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating.
I bet
you
it's
know that it's
complicated.
actually Jay-Z's Rock Nation that picks the artists every year.
Did not know
really?
that.
It's not the It's not the NFL.
No.
Huh.
That must have been a big contract.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but I like it because they take risks, you know?
Yeah.
They want representation, and so the past
Yeah.
few years we've seen that.
And a
We
good
definitely
performance.
have,
stoked
for
for
sure.
Good. Okay, February 24th. Oh,
Concord Music Hall.
Gogol Bordello.
Gogol.
Gogol Bordello.
Gogol Bordello.
Yeah.
Gogol. Oh my goodness.
That's a
Gogol.
tongue twister.
Yeah, it is. It sounds like Go Girl.
Klezmer.
Go Girl.
They're cool. They bring in punk music, gypsy music, klezmer, hardcore. It's like a melting pot
That
that, you'd
is,
expect
yeah.
from New York.
It's like world music.
It is. It's like
Yeah.
world music with a total vibe. The lead singer, Eugene, is from Ukraine, and he has been very vocal about what's happening in Ukraine right now, and a lot of he raises awareness through songs and through a lot of his efforts. The band just played at the World Forum for Democracy, so it's a good message, and it's a really, really fun show. There's 8 people on the stage, and it's you want to dance.
And Concord Music Hall, it's a great. That's the one in Pilsen, right?
No, it's actually in Milwaukee. And,
Why am I thinking? Which is Pavia? Wait, which is the one in
Pilsen? Thalia?
Talia Hall? Sorry, I'm getting them confused. My bad.
Goodness.
Where is
It's so
Concord
many,
Music?
it's just
It's on Milwaukee?
Yeah, Milwaukee, just right near like Armitage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these tickets are only $35.
Not
Yeah, a lot
bad.
of the shows this month are actually really, really affordable. A lot of them are in the
Yeah,
$50
these
range.
aren't bad. All right, we're going up to the north side at the Vic Theater on Sheffield. They're Matteo Mancuso. Who's Matteo Mancuso?
So he's an Italian Sicilian, which so am I. So a love to my fellow
There you
people.
go.
But no, he's a great, great guitarist. Very much in that jazzy improv, prog rock kind of style. He started playing when he was 10 and was heralded as this child prodigy. People like Joe Bonamassa and Steve Vai, they have totally gone on a limb and talked about how this kid is the future. So if you
Wow.
like
Oh, he
guitar
looks so
instrumental-
young.
He's older
He
now.
does.
He's
Okay.
30, I think. But
Okay.
He started when he was 10. And he has a really interesting finger playing style. He doesn't use picks, which does present a different kind of sound.
Yeah.
So if you love guitar, if you love instrumentals, you love prog, go see him.
There you go, Matteo
Sweet.
Mancuso.
I like
And
that.
then we have a show happening at the Metro in Wrigleyville. Margot Price.
Yeah. Margot was just recently Grammy nominated for Best Traditional Country Album, Best Country Duo Group Performance. But she's not your typical country artist. So she has that definite flavor, a little bit more kind of retro country, Patsy Cline kind of style, but she's very like outlaw country. And so she's been doing a lot of stuff that really raises awareness for, you know, a lot of our value points and giving back to organizations and communities and raising awareness for women's rights and trans rights and human rights. And that's all in her music. So she reminds me kind of like of those rebels back in the day, like a Johnny Cash or Chris Christopher.
Yeah, where they're not necessarily aligned with the rest of the genre politically and in their messages.
It's like it's a very interesting conversation right now because there was conversation about how Jelly Roll responded after his Grammy win when he was pressed by a reporter in the backstage about his views and why he didn't say anything political, and he had some very interesting words. There's another new artist.
What did he say? What did he say? I missed that.
He said that no one wants to, if I'm quoting it correctly, no one wants to hear from me, I'm a dumb redneck.
Oh.
So he kind of skirted around it, saying he wasn't really informed on the
Got it.
topics.
Okay.
He got a lot of flack for it.
Oh, did he?
I think we're just in a time right now where people are
Well, yeah,
expecting
there's
people
going to
to
be
say
a
stuff.
set of people where they're mad if you don't speak up, and there's
They are.
another set of people who are mad if you do speak
They
up.
say that politics shouldn't be in music, but you know, it's just as we all know, it's a very tenuous time right
Yeah.
now. But there are
Very so.
artists like Margot and this new guy. So I'm looking for his name. I think it's Brian Andrews, who is really kind of like his goal this year is to really represent what American values mean in country music. And so
Wow.
there's this kind of insurgency growing that I'm really interested in paying attention to.
She has an
For
album
sure.
called Hard-Headed Woman.
She sure does. Yeah, and she's great. And she's worked with Mavis Staples before. Chicago.
There we go.
Wow.
yeah,
She
she's
sounds
got
like a
great
fun
pedigree.
lady.
Yeah.
Thank
All right,
you
that's
so
February
much for
28th.
running us through all the February dates. I hope you are sitting right there in March with as good of a lineup. I'm sure
let me
it's
tell you.
Chicago.
It's
so it'll
March
be as good.
really gets rolling. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had good
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
June, Feb, but
That's when we start to
My
come
goal
out
is
of
to see
hibernation.
a show at the outdoor. I was telling Selena before we went on air that I saw a show at the Salt Shed last weekend indoors, and I've been there a couple times to their indoor venue, but have yet to see the outdoor side that's right along the river there.
Yeah,
so fun.
It's great, and they have the food trucks and all the vendors out there. It's really kind of its own little emporium.
So cool.
I love the Salt Shed. Yeah.
I didn't know you went to the Salt Shed.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow. See, you're cool.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm so cool, guys. Actually, I saw Todd, our one of our photographers there at the show.
He seems cool.
He is cool.
Where did you guys go? What did you see?
At the Salt Shed. We saw Drama.
Drama.
Chicago's own.
Drama.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for them to explode. We've seen them 2 years in a row.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's this little duo.
I love it.
The guy's Palestinian. The woman's, I think she's local. The lead singer. I think she's like a native Chicagoan. Amazing voice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to look him up.
Very
Drama.
danceable.
Salt Shed.
Very danceable. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we are going to talk about Meals on Wheels.
Meals on Wheels.
On Wheels, everybody. They're launching a Snap Together volunteer event, and we're going to hear all about that from Corey Morris, the director of the program, when we come back after this.
Health.
10:51, welcome back. Meals on Wheels Chicago launching a new program to help people affected by the recent changes to SNAP benefits. So we're learning more about it with Corey Morris, who's the director of Meals on Wheels Chicago. Thanks for joining us. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Thanks for having me on.
All right, so let's dig right in. What is this new program exactly?
Okay, so the new program is called Snap Together Volunteers, and it's something that we're doing at the Nourish Chicago Pantry, which is our once-a-month pantry that operates out of the Central West Senior Center.
Now, how does it differ from what you guys have been doing? We reported extensively on when these SNAP benefits were modified, just how many Illinoisans were affected by this. So take us through kind of what is different about this in lieu of that.
Yeah, so with the new requirements, the ages changed from 54. Now it's 55 to 64. You have to volunteer up to 80 hours a month. So with our pantry, we had some volunteer opportunities, and you're able to use those to report to the SNAP people about that you are volunteering. So what you're able to do is come to the Nourish Chicago Pantry, let us know you're there to volunteer, and you can participate in anything from, setting up the tables, distributing the produce to the other seniors, welcoming people, and then you're also there to get some of the fresh nutrients that we are providing.
Okay, so you have to volunteer in order to get the food from Meals on Wheels, or how does this relate to the SNAP benefits?
No, if you're 55 or older, you're able to come to get produce and different items from our pantry. But this program does also allow you to report some of the volunteer hours, which is a new requirement to keep the SNAP benefits if you're 55 or older.
So this program makes it kind of a one-stop shop to do that. It makes it easier to get those hours logged.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Snap Together Volunteer Program is more about food. It's about giving seniors stability, choice, and a way to support each other during these times of change. Because you know, this just happened at the beginning of this month.
Yeah. Will you, for folks who are kind of unfamiliar with the tweak that happened with regard to eligibility for SNAP benefits, how significant of a change we are talking about here? Is this something that is going to be preventing more needy Illinoisans from getting the food that they need?
It is, yeah. You know, I think just the ability to work and to get to some of these things it's a big barrier for a lot of people. So before it was up to age 54, but now they've increased that age from 55 to 64, where you do have to either work or volunteer 80 hours a month, which is a lot. So this is just one of the things that we're able to institute. So we're hoping that, you know, being able to meet the seniors where they already are. We have a lot of people that do come to our pantry, around 300 to 350 every month. So we figured we'd meet them where they are and make it easier.
Maybe somebody who's watching is physically worried that they're going to be able to handle the volunteer work. Maybe they aren't working because of that. So can you name a couple of things that people are doing as they're volunteering?
Yeah, you could, you could sit at a desk and check in people, because the way that the pantry works is when you come in, you check in and you get a card and you're able to sit down and wait until that's called, and you can, obviously help that way. It is a very welcoming environment. You could just hand out produce to the other seniors. We try to keep a really beautiful setup with about all of the items are set up around the room, so you can actually just sit there and hand different items to the other seniors. So we try to cater it and tailor it to everybody's capabilities as best as possible. But if you are physically able to, you can help seniors through the line. You can do a various tasks like that.
Okay. That sounds good. That sounds good. How often do these opportunities happen if people are worried about making that 80-hour threshold on a given month? How many chances do they have?
Right now, we're able to operate one pantry a month, which is coming up, I believe, on the 24th. But you can check our events calendar at mowc.org. So this is hopefully the start of something that other pantries will also adopt. So we have been in discussions with other people to help this program grow. Unfortunately, with our funding, we're only able to do that once a month, but we are looking to grow it as much as possible to other senior centers, which we have done in the past.
Can you talk more about what Meals on Wheels does? I know this is the new program, but in case someone's watching that has never heard of Meals on Wheels.
Yeah. Meals on Wheels Chicago has been around for 38 years. A big part of our program is our home delivered meal program. And we have about a little over 11,000 seniors who are homebound. And we are, as you can see, those trucks, they're out on the streets every day of the week delivering food to all 77 neighborhoods. A few years ago, we did launch the Nourish Chicago Pantry, which, we want to be able to be there for seniors at, every stage of life. So if you are mobile and able to come to the pantry, we do have that available. And it's a really cool community day where you're able to, fill your fridge, get some social interaction with other seniors. The senior center is amazing because there's some fitness classes, there's some dancing, computer literacy, all of that stuff. But, like I said, the core of our program is the home delivered meal program, which we started 38 years ago.
Will you give us, before we let you go, kind of a little bit of insight into the health of the program right now with regard to the fact that for so many months we have been talking about the high price of certain groceries?
Yeah, we're always worried about that. Like the current cost of things has made it a little bit difficult for us to navigate. And when we first started this a few years ago, it was a little easier and we could offer a more robust list of offerings. But we are able to pivot. We do have a lot of things that we are still able to offer, but our pantry does rely on the generous donations that we do have coming in, because we get top tier, beautiful restaurant quality produce that we're able to hand out. So if anybody's out there that is able to help keep our program running, you can go to www.mlwc.org and donate and help us keep the program going.
Beautiful. All right.
Corey, thank you very much. Good luck getting through this time, and I hope these volunteer opportunities really help people out a lot. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me on.
All right, Corey
idea.
Morris, Director of Meals on Wheels Chicago. That's going to do it for me and Caitlin for the week.
Woohoo.
You're in on Monday, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Monday we'll do our challenge.
Our challenge, that's right.
think of something.
We're going to have to
Send me a message.
work out what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, we got another hour of Chicago Now starting in just a couple of minutes, so stay with us, everybody. Hope you're having a great Friday morning.
Well,
Are you from Wisconsin? You know what's funny? He goes, oh yeah. Oh yeah. So before I came here, I was like, what is the most Wisconsin out? Because I do that a lot when I tour, because I think it's really funny. So I was like, what's my most Wisconsin outfit? And so this is my most Wisconsin outfit. Hold on, this is going to get a lot funnier. My buddy, what's your name? Peter? Go ahead and stand up, Peter, and show everybody what you look like. Sit down, buddy. I'm going to buy you a drink.
No way. So that guy is not a paid actor.
No, not at all. And neither am I.
all right, we got to introduce T.J. Miller, comedian, actor, improviser. You know him from Silicon Valley, from the Deadpool film, Transformers. You know him from Chicago. I am so excited you're here, man. You got that. That is the most quintessential, probably, next to wearing the Cubs jersey.
Yeah,
that is a quintessential. You're going to be Chicago Improv in Schaumburg this weekend. So much we want to talk to you about, but I really want to start out talking about that clip. And that moment when you're on stage and you realize
you've got such a great television person.
Oh, do I?
Doesn't he? So
Thank you.
animated.
Everything is exciting about what's going to. We're going to talk about it right now.
Trust me, it's not always that way. I've done some live shots where I'm like, so.
Yeah, talking to me, he's not very excited.
But when you're a part of that moment and you're telling this amazing joke and you realize because the guy's wearing the same shirt as you, your joke just got 10 times better. What is that moment like?
It was so funny to me, and I go, I can't this is actually happening, that I'm making fun of Wisconsin by wearing this shirt, and that guy's wearing the exact same shirt.
Did you see him before you started, though?
No.
No.
Wow.
As I was talking, and in the clip I go, well, this just got a lot funnier because you're about to see this guy up front. And he was a teacher in some small Wisconsin town, and so all of his students thought it was so funny, and they were reposting it. It was really great.
How much of when you're on stage doing improv, how much is being prepared versus, hey, you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to be in the crowd, and being willing to go whatever direction you get pulled in?
Well, I started in Chicago. I'm going to try and pick up a trick. I started, where's my camera? It's not there at all. I started in Chicago as an improviser. And so I studied Improv Olympic, Annoyance Theater. Annoyance Theater is the best. That's where I really learned how to become an improviser. But I toured with Second City. So I was really an improviser before a stand-up comedian. So now when I perform, a lot of it is improvised. Although I'm working on a new hour. We just dropped my last hour on my channel, The Philosophy Circus. Where is it? Where's my camera?
Right there.
Right here. Camera
there?
10.
It's up there. All
Take
right.
camera 10 right now.
Look at him.
The Philosophy
That's exactly,
Circus.
that's
Over
it.
here,
That is the
TJ.
camera.
Right now.
Come on,
Philosophy
smile right
Circus.
here.
He's found it.
So it's great, but you know, I'm working on a new hour, working on new material. But today I'm so excited because we're dropping a Chicago stand-up comedy special that I did with my great friend CJ Sullivan, who's a hilarious comedian, Chicago comic, professional gambler, does not have a problem. It's fine.
Okay.
He's
We just
doing
had a
great.
gambling segment, so hopefully you were here for that, CJ.
We were.
CJ.
There he is, CJ Sullivan.
Hey.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Totally improvised.
Yeah, completely. No, I did see the gambling segment. The doctor made a lot of good points, you know, about the dangers of gambling and the addiction. You know,
Do you have a gambling problem?
I'm addicted to winning, and so I break it every day. So it's an easy addiction to break. But I think my bookie might have a problem. He keeps calling me for money every week, so I reported him. You know what I mean?
Maybe he just likes
that.
talking to you.
I think
know, right.
they have a strong friendship.
Yeah.
So we shot a comedy special. What was it, 2 years ago, I think?
Yeah, I was here in Chicago called the Big Windy City.
The Big Windy City.
Love it.
It's all right.
And it's great. You guys are going to love it. It's amazing. And it's about Chicago. It's about
CJ doesn't
Chicago
seem
comedy.
super into
No,
it.
isn't it?
No, I'm into it. It's
He's
just
humble.
yeah. No. Well, I'm in it.
Yeah.
Into it. It's not really for me. I mean, it's by me, but it's for me. But like, no, it's good. No, I would check it out.
What's your favorite part about working with TJ?
We eat a lot together.
We do eat a lot.
Yeah.
We go to Billy Goat Tavern,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we talk about all the different types of food in Chicago that make
Right.
it famous. So we go to Al's Italian Beef.
Nice.
We teach people the stance, the Chicago stance.
Wait, what is
Yeah,
the
there's-
Chicago stand?
Yeah, what
There's
is this?
eating. I'm kind of doing it right now. It's just so it doesn't, get on your shoes. Whatever.
Right.
You got to leave
That's
it over,
smart.
elbows
Yeah.
out, kind of
When
a
you
situation.
eat Italian beef, do you do it dipped? Do you get it?
Like pretty
what is
much
it,
drowned.
baptized?
You baptize it.
Yeah,
you
it's
got to
round.
do the head nod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like to be able to control.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about control.
It is.
when
So we
comes
do
to
that.
it.
We go to get some Chicago pizza downtown and Billy Goat Tavern, and we talk about the
Yeah, and we impose on people trying to eat their things, and like so we can get a product out of it. So
Yeah,
I mean, it's
we're looking for
Rage
content.
bait 'em,
Yeah.
kind of.
right.
But
Exactly.
it is so distinctly Chicago, and then we filmed the shows we did at the Chicago Improv, where I am this weekend with CJ Sullivan.
It's in Schaumburg, right? I mean, it's kind of like they got an IKEA out there. It's a lot of.
Yeah, so you can really put it
The
together.
Paris of the Midwest, they say.
I like it.
Hey,
Now it's a lot of traffic getting out there,
but
obviously.
once you get there,
It
it's
is-
worth it.
it's the-
But coming back is when it's worth it. Because when you
Yeah.
come back, all the traffic's clear, and there's nothing better than going home when you go out at night. But
Exactly
you
right.
can't stay home.
And it's
you know,
fun. It's
you have to get out there. So come on out and get excited to go home.
Go home.
Yeah.
And it's fun to be in Schaumburg because those audiences are so great because they can't afford to live in a nice suburb, but they also can't afford to live in the city.
Right.
So for me,
We're trying to get the people of Schaumburg to come see the show.
oh, they're not allowed.
No,
They
they're
can't afford
coming
the
there.
tickets.
They're all in the city.
But the great people of Greater Chicago are all invited to come and see me and CJ Sullivan, and we're dropping that special, the Chicago Comedy Special, the Big Windy City, today at 3/12. 3/12.
Oh, I like it. The
So
3-1-2.
Like
Well
it,
done.
Okay.
It'll be around that. It's all about if it uploads in time.
Yeah, we're having a tough time uploading.
Yeah, right.
And where can people watch it?
On the internet.
On the internet.
YouTube especially.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, everything's on YouTube.
Almost everything is available.
I don't think we have to convince anyone, guys.
I think you're sold. I mean, we
just doing it.
just sold. We just sold
Just
5
me.
tickets
Four
right then.
people.
You just got to convince me. I'm not fully into
people,
it yet,
Sean.
but everyone else is in there.
But it's
Sean Berger,
nice.
great people.
We both started in Chicago as comedians. We learned to do stand-up here. So I think it's also fun in the special. We talk about what's different about Chicago comedy compared to other.
What's different?
What is different? Not a lot.
I was done after the gambling stuff. I'm going to take off.
All right, I'll see you in a little bit.
CJ, we appreciate you.
All right, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
We appreciate it.
I think Chicago is a little bit more of it's improvisational a little bit. And so you kind of never know what's happening. You never know if it's going to be off the cuff. And so I talk about the crowd, but I don't necessarily I don't really do crowd work as much. But I think you're right. It's kind of, you never know. You never know what's going to happen. And that is the improvisational background that is Second City Improv, Olympic Annoyance, everything.
But then you've got such an amazing history with scripted work, whether it be, Silicon Valley or, Marvel films, Transformers films. So does the improv skills, does that muscle, are you able to flex that on a movie or a TV set? Yeah?
When people hire me, they know that I'm going to be improvising.
Yeah.
So it's kind of part of it. And so, I mean, obviously, all of this has been scripted.
I mean, every single
Yeah,
word.
every
It's
single-
all-
Couple times.
prompter.
exactly.
Every last
How's
thing.
our performance?
I think it's great.
I can't read, so.
And that's why your cards are blank. But it's nice that you kind of have them to sort of pretend to look at. So anything that you see, a lot of people quote things that I've done. It's usually my own improvisation, but I'm lucky that on Deadpool, Silicon Valley, all these things, they were great writers. So it was, it was easy to riff, but also to do the written word. And it's, it's really, really fun. But I think improvising is my favorite thing to do, and you see it in my stand-up comedy.
But how much does, I'm sorry to interrupt, but when you're doing like a TV or a movie, how much is your ability to improv kind of hurt or help succeeded by whether or not the actor you're with can do it as well? Because if you're with a great actor who can't improv, then what does it matter?
Actors do that too, yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of actors don't do that, but I've been really, really fortunate to be on Silicon Valley, Kumail Nanjiani, who played Dinesh, and then
Chicago roots.
Yeah, and he's Chicago, and also Thomas Middleditch, who played Richard. So there were 3 Chicago people in that show, so we were improvising a lot. And then in Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds and I, who are friends, where's my
10.
10? Ryan Reynolds, one of my best friends, and always has been. And we've had our ups, we've had our downs, but mostly ups. And I'm really up on Mr. Reynolds right now. And he's one of the funniest people alive, and one of the reasons is because he's a funny actor, he's a very funny writer, and he is an incredible improviser.
Really?
So I've been able to play off of people that are just as good and just as excited and amped to riff and improvise, but I'm not sure there's a funnier person alive right now than Ryan Reynolds.
Wow.
And I've met a lot of really funny people.
Yeah.
CJ and Ryan Reynolds, those would be my top 2.
I mean, I'm a big CJ fan.
Me too.
I am too.
You know what the difference between the two of them? Between CJ and Ryan Reynolds? CJ is here.
Yeah, CJ is here.
And that goes
Ryan-
a long
Ryan
way
said-
on this show.
Ryan watches often, though, we hear.
Yeah,
We've had Ryan on the
Chicago
show.
Now at
For
11
sure. He's
o'clock
watching right now.
specifically.
Who's not? Everyone's watching. Oh, the way they took that camera when he said Ryan Reynolds is watching right now. I'm sort of curious, going back to the improv and the show that's happening over the weekend, what do you like? Because people as an audience, they go to a show and they know what they want from a comedian. What do you want out of an audience?
Just excitement.
Yeah?
I thought of a lot of things that I could have said. Fear, anger, all this. But I think just an audience that's excited to be there because we are in front of our screens so much.
Yeah.
I talk about this in the Philosophy Circus, the special that I have online now. And we're just always in front of a screen. And so to get people into a room, put your phones down, and actually be present, I think is amazing. And so I'm happy that they're there and making a commitment to not just being in front of a screen and streaming.
Yeah.
I like to ask heckler stories. Earlier in your career, do people still heckle you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Do they?
Yeah, where was I? I was a couple weekends ago. I got off stage and one of the staff goes, "Hey, does that always happen?" And I go, "What?" And he's like, "I've never seen people yell out at a comedian like that." And I go, "Oh yeah, it happens a lot." They go, "Why are they yelling at you?" And I didn't have an answer. I go, I don't know. I guess, do I look like a person you want to just yell at, maybe? But I think, you know, I'm in these roles, and I always have a comeback, or I'm making fun of somebody or something. So I think they come and then they try that, and then I do well with it because I'm used to it. And people go, oh, I'm going to be part of the show, you know? I'm going to tell him he looks stupid. You want to do it? I'll do it. Hey, you look stupid! And then I got to kind of deal with that. Do you guys ever get heckled on the show?
Not, I mean,
actually, yes.
Actually,
yes.
Yeah.
Well, then there you go.
I got our producer Mia behind the scenes. She made fun of me this morning.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments.
In my world, I can kick Mia out.
Oh, okay.
So you guys don't really have security. Mia, get her out of here.
No, but Mia's
I'm
my
just
friend.
kidding. No, we actually
I have
need
some
Mia.
other people
We love Mia. Yeah.
Go out, yeah.
Yeah, so it's, you know, I do get some hecklers, and my worst story, because the story, is a guy tried to run on stage and fight me. In Jacksonville, a girl came on stage to slap me, but she was so drunk she couldn't figure out where to.
Well, okay, but
why do you want to fight you?
Because I say things that are funny and true.
But okay, when they get that in their head, like
she was so drunk. Sorry to interrupt. She was so drunk, and she would not stop talking. And throughout the show, I politely asked her to stop talking, and then finally I was like, "You got to be quiet, or we're gonna kick you out." And she goes, "You don't know. You don't know anything." I go, "I know you're probably a bad mother, but I think that..." Boy, that really pissed her off. So she came on stage to slap me, but couldn't figure out which hand she was. So we had to. But I had a guy come on, or he rushed the stage to fight me. They finally got him out of there. After the show, they got a standing ovation because people saw how dangerous it was. This is in Atlanta, and then everybody cleared out. I go to the bar, and the bartender goes, "Hey, that was a tough night. Let me buy you a drink." I go, really had a tough night." He goes, "No, I'll buy you a drink. You ever had Macallan 18? I go, "No, I never. I was much younger." I go, "Oh my God, no, never." So I have the drink, and then I go, "All right, well, I got to go. It's just a terrible night. That guy tried to fight me. I got to go home." He goes, "Let me buy you another drink." And I go, "I'm okay." He's like, "You ever had Macallan 20? And I go, "No, but I really don't want to drink." He's like, "That guy's still outside. He's in his truck. We just called the police." So
wow.
Why don't you have another drink? I was like, "I'll have a double."
Yeah. I hope you tipped that bartender very well.
Did very, very well. But they got him out of there, so yeah.
I have a well, actually, now that you made the Schomburg comment, maybe people will try to fight you now.
I would love it. Schomburg is less fighting, more talking about the size and scope of the IKEA.
That's fair.
Hey, that is actually very true.
It's beautiful.
It is.
Strangler over there,
CJ made that joke, and then I decided to make it again.
You know, we were going through we just named a couple of some of the amazing things that you did, particularly on the big screen. When a fan is coming over, and you can tell, like, okay, they've clocked me. Can you figure out, without them saying anything, what they're going to ask you about? Can you say, like, that's a Deadpool fan, or that's a How to Train Your Dragon? Like, can you clock someone when they're
Yeah, I mean, if they're Hispanic, it's Transformers.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Probably.
Will that get me canceled? Oh, I'm on Fox. Nobody cares. No, that is almost primarily Hispanics love Transformers 2, entitled white women like Office Christmas Party, and then Deadpool's a lot of latent homosexuals, where do I look for that one?
Still 10, DJ. It doesn't.
A lot of latent
doesn't change.
homosexuals are big Deadpool fans. So yeah, I thought I would come on the show and really kind of make sure I was never invited back.
Listen, it's all about making sure that if people haven't seen your work.
It takes a lot for that.
Please don't ruin this franchise for me. Who loves the How to Train Your Dragon movies?
Attractive men with great hair.
Hey! I love the How to Train Your Dragon
who have television energy and great taste in footwear. That's the HTTY.
Wait a second.
The boots.
You like that show?
How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah,
those are masterpieces.
What do you
Those
like?
are animated masterpieces.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but what's a fun thing that you enjoy that I've done?
Well, I'm Hispanic, so it'd have to be Transformers. Hey, nailed it.
Ay, ay, ay. Pero habla español o no?
Sí, un poquito. Pero...
Solamente un poquito, porque yo viví en Argentina por un tiempo y por eso yo hablo castellano.
Exactly.
Exactly. We'll be at the Schaumburg Improv in Chicago. I got that wrong. We'll be at the Chicago Improv in Schaumburg this weekend. Tonight, 2 shows. Tomorrow, 2 shows. And then I'll be at the IKEA on Sunday doing a meatball expose.
Really?
CJ, you want to come back in? We need you to put a button on this thing.
Yeah,
come on, CJ.
He's not gonna do that.
Come on, CJ.
Wait, who you got for the Super Bowl?
Who you got for the Super Bowl?
I'm not mic'd.
He's not mic'd. That's okay.
Yeah, you can shout.
For the Super Bowl, of course, we'll definitely go. Will there be a streaker? Yes. Gender, non-binary. It's plus 50. San Francisco.
Lock it out.
Get up. All right, guys.
He's on Sports Gambling Network. Bottom Line Bombs. Very, very, very funny show. Man in the Box. But you got it. He's a professional gambler. I mean, he's a comedian. He's a better comedian than a gambler. But he's a pretty good gambler.
No, well, I mean, being a professional doesn't mean you're good. It just means you get paid for it.
As the three of us know.
Yes, every day of my life.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Wait, that is a good Hollywood lesson.
I like your
TJ
glasses.
Miller.
Can I try them?
Yeah, sure. They're for Mania. I just did a keynote in Sun Valley, Idaho, and I did the Brain Conference in London.
Wait, are they prescription?
Yeah. And so I have a brain injury in AVM.
Good.
And in 2010, I had surgery, and they removed a golf ball-sized piece of my right frontal lobe.
Story.
Yeah. And so now I've started doing keynote speeches to neurologists, neurosurgeons, and radiologists about how you should be involved with or have experience with the patient and the patient experience post-op. Because a lot of neurosurgeons just surgery, you lived, and they move on. And so I'm part of support groups, and that's one of the things I'm working on right now.
That's awesome.
It's not really that
Really
funny.
awesome.
No,
Well,
but it's a great
keynotes
I don't want people to think that that's a joke, because it's not a joke.
It's not a joke. You can look it up. TJ Miller Has a Seizure is a pretty fun bit that I have online, and it's about the experience of doing that. But brain surgery, TBIs, and brain injuries are the invisible disability. So you look at somebody, you don't know that they have a disability because it's a brain matter.
Yeah.
And I guess pun unintended there. And so it's important for brain injury awareness in the sense that people with brain injuries should be able to talk about it openly. They should be aware that it's okay to say, I have a disability, it's invisible, but yeah, so that's one of the things that I'm doing too. I like to really bring it down at the end of the
No, but I think that's, I mean,
show
that's
to just make sure all of you.
That's important.
You
That's
got
part of you.
layers.
Yeah.
You got layers, TJ Miller.
It's true.
Look at that.
Chicago, you gotta have layers.
So, number one restaurant or like hotspot that you're going to this weekend?
What are you talking about?
Oh, the Billy Goat. The Goat, as they like to call it.
And I got this so that other women won't try to have sex with me. When you're married, you wear one of these. Look at that. See if you can get really that. See that?
I mean, you're basically.
It is neon green.
If after this segment you don't get a free pair of AirPods and a double burger at Billy Goat, then what are you doing?
Then, yeah.
Exactly.
What
Double burger.
What are we even doing?
No female suitors.
TJ Miller, we love you, man. Welcome back to Chicago.
This is so fun. Thanks for having me.
You.
Thank
our
you.
our goal was to just not be your least favorite TV interview you've ever done.
Oh, you're the best. I don't even remember. Where were we before this? They had some political agenda.
They did.
Not here, baby.
Not on Chicago.
I'll see you in Schaumburg, mama.
On that note, we're going to break. We'll be right back.
These are the moments.
Welcome back to Chicago Now. Wow, what an interview.
You know, sometimes you do an interview and you just sit back and just see where is this going, and at what point do I need to cut it off to ensure I'm not going to be fired. That's the most.
We played a fine line this week. I'm going to tell you. It's been a great week. Okay,
it's going to be a great weekend.
It's going to be a great weekend.
Is it though? Because the Super Bowl kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. Well,
okay, tell me I'm all right. Like, come on. Who was cheering for a Seahawks?
No, that's true. I mean, yeah, what is this, like 2014?
It's just like, ugh.
I know. Two teams that really, in my opinion, sorry.
I don't want to see either of them. Like we finally got through the Chiefs' legacy, only to see it come back around to the Pats.
Yeah.
Like,
it hasn't been long enough time that the Patriots haven't been good, right?
They're like, oh, it's our time again. I was like, it was your time like 18 minutes ago.
It's true.
Let someone else into the party.
Not long enough. Well, you know, with the Super Bowl, we talk about what's really important.
The food.
The snacks.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so we have a breakdown of Illinois' favorite Super Bowl snacks. I'm going to start with number 5. Okay, we're going to go down or up the list. Anyway, number 5, cheese charcuterie.
Yeah,
4%
I get it. You know, I like
it's all going to be shown anyway.
Wow.
Oh, okay, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Number 4, nachos. 3, chips and dip, which you could arguably say are kind of. No, I guess
no. That's nachos. Different than charcuterie.
They're definitely different. My bad. Pizza, number 2, and then buffalo wings, number.
I love that 4 out of 5 involve cheese. That tells you.
You know what?
And honestly, with a can-do attitude, the last one could as well.
Can I tell you something? I had no idea, guys, genuinely, maybe I'm stupid for this, but I had no idea that people from Buffalo, New York were so passionate about buffalo wings.
I mean, it
makes sense. No, it makes sense. Yes, but it makes sense. But I really didn't know how.
It's like their thing?
No, it's like seriously their thing. And like their whole like personality.
It's their identity?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, but we could, Chicago has things, it's like our thing, you know, that we're proud of.
But like, it's like someone got offended from me ordering ranch with them.
Why? Okay, can I?
No. Don't tell me how you hate sauces.
No. That's not what I was gonna say. My argument is, I don't understand people who get upset by how other people eat things. Like
Unless it's like.
Okay, but like in terms of like what they eat.
Yeah.
Like if someone wants to put, I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
Someone wants to put ketchup on a hot dog. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like if you don't have to eat it. It's not what if you want to put ranch on your chicken wing or on your buffalo,
feel like
who cares?
Since it's just you and I, there has to be someone who like disagrees just because that's a Chicago thing to do, you know. But but let's say
I don't understand having so much of an investment in what someone else eats.
Why?
If someone else wants to eat a thing, and it's not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
Let them eat it. Who cares?
Why can't I dip everything in ranch?
What? You know what?
Why does everyone get mad about that?
Do you know? I don't know. Do you know why I don't care? Because I'm not eating it. Do I want that? No. But guess what? I don't have to eat it. Does it make you happy? Live your life.
You know what? I'm kind of remembering something that you got a certain kind of package of a certain kind of line of sauces. And guess who never got any of those sauces from Mr. Sauce Hater?
I think I gave them away to people. Like we get
nice, Jake. I would have loved one of those.
You know what? Spend more time in proximity to me, and you'll get free stuff.
Fine.
That's how it works.
We're breaking it down even more.
Iris and I are going to go shopping for. We're actually going to cook all of our Super Bowl food.
Okay, cool.
So are you a order in type of person, or are you like prepare it on the day?
No, kind of prepare it on the day.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I'm going to be cooking this year. So my in-laws have a big party, like a huge party every year, which is super fun. And
I'm not seeing.
Hey, you're invited.
No,
you are invited.
I just love Miss. Oh, I didn't get any of your free sauces. The pity invite that just got thrown my way. No, I don't want to go to.
Come to the Southwest suburbs, and we will have a little party.
Nope, I'm good. Thanks.
But we have to go to bed early. That's the only issue.
Yeah, I get it.
That is the only issue.
Yeah.
So I will be watching until after halftime. Will I hear halftime? Probably not, because there's a lot of people in there.
Yep.
But that's beyond the pack. What are you guys planning on making?
We're gonna get wings. Honestly, we kind of wanted. We're gonna go to this, like, just go to a grocery store and kind of just figure it out together. We've really been, cooking together a lot more, and even on. What did we do? Like Thanksgiving, we made like pizzas, like homemade pizzas together.
I remember that. You told me.
So yeah, we're probably just gonna kind of get there and see what we're in the mood for while we're shopping. But there's so much, like on Super Bowl Sunday, we also kind of figured well, we're not having, you know, a big party or anything, but it's going to be hard to get stuff delivered, right? Because everyone's got stuff catered, and it's going to be busy. You know, you can order wings.
I hike up prices because of it.
Well, I remember one time, and I'm not even going to say who it was from, but I ordered wings on Super Bowl Sunday, waited for like 3 hours, and then they canceled it. So it's just like, well, I don't want to be stuck in that position to not have something. Yeah. So we're just going to kind of be in control of it and go get and kind of be able to cook stuff at our own pace. And I remember when I mean, honestly, probably a lot of the stuff that's on the list.
The last time I did like a kind of like solo Super Bowl, it was with like myself and like 2 other roommates. It actually was like in college, and we made like, you know, a recipe from Pinterest, as you do. You know, you see something that looks good, but it was like we ended up with like 3 pounds of cheese, like for each person, pretty much. So it was just like sometimes the recipes are just too big. Yeah, actually it was great. I shouldn't be complaining about that. Speaking of, we actually broke it down even more for you about what Illinois likes. Super Bowl dips ranked. Ready for this? And it's going to give it all away.
Yeah, so
Number 5.
We've got a graphic that's going to say them all.
Queso.
Queso's my thing. You know, I have a hard time feel like getting good queso around here.
That's true.
I feel like queso is more of a Tex-Mex thing.
Yeah, that is true.
And there aren't as particular, maybe just in the city, there aren't as, I mean, I know you got to the burbs and there's more like Mexican restaurants, but there's not like in downtown, there's not a lot of Tex-Mex restaurants.
Well, and I feel like with some places, actually I was going to say something and it's probably actually like super out of pocket, but I feel like I only go to like 2 Mexican restaurants right now, like in my neighborhood, and so I kind of just stick to those. And they just happen not to have queso, actually, now that I think of it. Okay, but number 4, salsa. Extra spicy. Do you like spicy stuff?
The spicier the better.
Me too.
I want my mouth on fire.
We're one and the same.
By the time I'm done.
I don't agree with this. Number 3. It should be number 1. Ranch.
Yeah, you like your ranch.
We've addressed that. Oh, but number 2.
Okay, but these are different things.
But number 2.
Ranch.
French onion dip. I haven't had it in a while, and I forgot how bomb French onion dip is.
I don't know if I've ever had it.
What? Jake.
I'm so sorry.
French onion dip with potato chips, with a crisp potato chip is actually incredible. Okay, so Monday I will bring you some French onion dip. It might have been used already.
I'm going to say, the remnants at the bottom.
Yeah.
All right, number 1.
Buffalo chicken dip. Oh, there it is. Good. We left it to last.
He was saving the graphic for the reveal because we called them out.
This is the actual news that you needed to know before Super Bowl Sunday. All right, Jake, I'm going to let you talk about this one. Super Bowl
this doesn't surprise me. Super Bowl ticket prices dropping. And I wonder if, I don't know about you, I feel like, and in context, right? You know, it's, but I feel like there's just not a ton of excitement around. Like, am I wrong in that? Like,
no.
There's just not a lot of buzz around this year's Super Bowl. And I think it's because the majority of the country, like, we're over these teams and no one's really, you know. So, yeah, here's the deal. Obviously, still, like, a Super Bowl ticket is expensive. The cheapest ticket to go to the Super Bowl, just about $4,500, and that's going to be in nosebleeds, section 420. If you want a great view of the field and that the Bad Bunny halftime show, section 111, which I'm assuming might be like the 50-yard line.
Probably.
That's going to be about $9,500. The most expensive ticket, section 137 VIP, right behind the home team's bench. That one is going to be just about $45,000.
Wow.
45. Oh, it's gone down. Wow, look at that.
That's incredible. Oh, 42. Oh, it's a steal.
Wow.
It says act fast. These tickets are in high demand.
Yeah, well, and I will say that is half of the original price was 86. Imagine you paid the $86,000 asking initial, and then the 2 days before realized that it's gone down to $42,000. This might be a stupid question. Have you ever been to a Super Bowl?
No, I have not.
No?
Unless it's like 2 epic teams, then I don't think I would be forking out that money unless I like win the lottery.
Sure.
Or like
you know, I got to go just by nature of working for Fox.
Oh, duh, yeah.
So sometimes, you know, because every
if the bosses are listening, then I would like to go and at least be around. I would actually just like the atmosphere.
It is. It was a cool vibe. So I got to go. Knock on wood. It was a really cool experience. I got to go Super Bowl 51, which was in Houston. So it was really great. It was just a crazy coincidence because I got a lot of friends and family in Houston. So I got to, you know, have dinner with my sister and my grandma, and I got to have lunch with one of my buddies, and I even went back to like my old middle school and shot a story there.
So cool.
And but the coolest part was that my cameraman and I, we got to go it was Reliant, Energy Stadium, and see one of the greatest Super Bowl games ever played.
Yeah.
It was Tom Brady's comeback against the Atlanta Falcons. when they was down like almost 20 points at half, and they came back in the second half. It was one of the most incredible Super Bowl performances.
Jake, that's amazing. Who was your photographer?
He who shall not be named.
Okay.
He's one of my very good friends. He's an amazing cameraman here at the station.
Okay.
But he does not like being named on camera.
That's okay.
So out of respect to him, I will.
That is okay.
But you know who the halftime show was?
Who was it?
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
It was awesome. It was
wow,
awesome.
that was a good year.
Great Super Bowl. So if that's
what year
my
was
one,
that, Jake?
that would have been 9 years ago. We're at Super Bowl 60 right now. It would have been 9 years ago. So that was one of the best experiences of my life, and I got to be kind of in the tunnels like right after Brady won, and then rush the field.
You got all
Eddie was coming down, and we had a couple of. It was when he played for the Patriots, and we had a couple of Patriots fans who worked here, so I scooped up a lot of the confetti and put it in the bag and brought it back for everybody. So we had a really good time.
Jake,
we were exhausted.
That's awesome.
It was a great experience.
You know, can I say that there's all these like conspiracy theories that the NFL is rigged and that they pick the Super Bowl, players ahead of time. But don't you think that they'd pick, like, I'm sorry, but better teams? Because, there's not that... You would think that they'd pick the teams that would, create the most excitement.
Right. I honestly think if they were to pick, I mean, for based on the teams that were in the playoffs, they probably would have picked Patriots Rams just because of the legacy and the market size.
True,
like, LA's a big market size, so... yeah, I mean, will I watch the game? Of course, because that's but it's the least excited I've been about a Super Bowl in a very long time.
I would agree, and I'm sad that we can't hit this last trending topic. So let's try to get it at the end of the show.
Okay.
Because we only have a little bit left, and we want to get to the festival that's happening in Andersonville, because it's quite interesting. And I saw some TikTok videos about this. It was trending.
We got time.
On that note, yes, there's a great festival that's happening this weekend in Andersonville. We'll talk all about it here in a couple minutes. All right, welcome back to Chicago Now. We're talking about Fika Fest, which is going to be Andersonville's annual fest, and it's coming back this weekend for some good food and exciting activities that you don't want to miss. All right, joining us with a preview of what you can expect is Charlie Wine, Director of Marketing and Communications for Andersonville Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for joining us.
Of course. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You are very much a friend of the show, and I asked you when we first started, is it Fika? Is it Fika Fest? Because some I saw different pronunciations.
Yes.
But pretty much it has a cute little meaning, Fika.
Yeah, so Fika is a Swedish tradition. Fika is something that's actually a regular part of Swedish day-to-day. It's Fika translates kind of more directly to coffee and cake. The idea is that you take a break in your day, you get away from your computer, you sit down with a friend or a colleague or someone, you have coffee, you have cake, and you just talk. There's no distractions, and it's like a regular part of their day.
Do you understand, like, that is, like, no pun intended, but my cup of tea? Like, that would be, like, literally the best. Like, I need a Fika break, I think.
That's what we say.
It's so interesting because I feel like we so often hear comparisons to the European workday to the American workday. And I feel like this, just the concept of this break exemplifies something, because I feel like here in the States, we're always go, go, go. And so I mean, this job, you know, I'm sure your job as well, the concept of having to force ourselves
to chill,
to stop and take a break. I mean, it's kind of crazy that we almost have to have a festival to remember that, like, we can stop and breathe for a second.
Well, a lot of that actually comes out of Sweden too, in that they have another tradition called sag hedge, which translates to say hey, where the idea is just saying hey to someone on the street as you're walking by does wonders for your mental health.
Wow.
Should I move to Sweden?
That's what I keep thinking.
Honestly. Okay, let's talk about the festival. What do people expect?
So Fika Fest is our weekend-long celebration. Again, it's all about sort of comfort, coziness, and taking a break. So Saturday, tomorrow, our first event is our coffee and cocoa crawl. We do this every year. It is a crawl throughout the district where people can go to different businesses and different restaurants and bars and cafes and sample hot coffee and cocos from the different vendors. So we have some vendors that pop up in retail businesses. We have some restaurants that do their own thing. It's awesome. We have 2 routes. I think there's like 8 or 9 stops per route, and it's just a whole day of hot chocolate and coffee and snacks.
I love this. Okay, I'm really curious about this expression right here. What is the Great Andersonville Puzzle Exchange?
Oh, yes. So this is probably one of my favorite events that we do. We started this in COVID because we realized, you know, what was everyone doing in COVID? They were baking bread and they were doing puzzles.
Yeah, I did one.
And or doing puzzles about bread. But people were starting to do the same puzzles over and over again, and we realized, let's change it up. And an easy way to do it was to get everyone, offer to everyone to bring their old puzzles in. They can exchange them out for new puzzles. So last year we had about 500 people come in and do this at the Swedish American Museum. This will be on Sunday, and you can bring all your old puzzles, trade them in, and take as many as you brought. So we have people that come and dropped off. We had someone drop off early 40 puzzles yesterday.
Wow. With the expectation of leaving with 40 puzzles?
Well, so we capped it this time at 15.
Good call.
Okay.
Good call.
Made very clear. But it's gotten bigger every year. We have people that return every year and bring back the puzzles they tried the year.
Oh, that's fun.
That's so cool.
And then new people pick up those puzzles. We have a CSI Miami puzzle that has revolved over the past 3 years to different people, and they always bring it back.
That's amazing.
After. Yeah.
What does it say to, how do you feel whenever you guys work so hard to pull this together? And people don't just enjoy it for 1 year, but to your point, when you start hearing of people coming back for a second and a third and a fourth, and it becomes a tradition for people, is that the ultimate, okay, we're on to something, we're doing something?
Yeah, you know, we do a lot. We do 40 plus events a year, and you know, even something like a puzzle exchange, it does take a lot to put together, and we do get this nice sense of accomplishment, especially in all like the stress and the logistics. It's nice when people call and say, hey, when's the next puzzle exchange? Are you doing another one this year? So I start getting those emails a month after after this Sunday. I'll get emails a month from now asking when's the next puzzle exchange.
It's like, come on, let me breathe for a second.
When is the next puzzle exchange?
Let's count on it being next February.
Gabby, give him we haven't even gotten through this one yet.
Well, maybe I want to start going to puzzle exchange very often.
We've talked about maybe doing it a second time in the year, but we also have so many other events that we do that we do regularly, and some that we add last minute. So you know, we always have something going on.
Every time I'm talking to someone and they happen to mention like, oh, I'm moving. I go, where are you moving to? They go, Andersonville. It's like the new hot, I mean, not new, but it's a hot spot. Are you finding a lot of kind of like new folks coming in, exploring the area?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I've been a part of Andersonville one way or another for about 15 years, and you see things change over time. We still have, you know, the largest, you know, percentage of small business owners in the neighborhood. And again, things change, but we see a lot of people move in. It's a very diverse neighborhood, a lot of young families. You know, we're known as being a very LGBT-friendly neighborhood, and especially with the distribution of businesses services and events that are done, there's really something for everyone. You know, anyone, a family with two young kids could find something to do on a Saturday afternoon, the same as anyone that maybe wants to go have some drinks with their friends, you know.
And I'd imagine, you know, a festival like this it's great for the neighborhood because you mentioned the small businesses.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, well, while we're here,
yeah, exactly.
Maybe we pop over to that cute little bar over there and go have a drink somewhere, or maybe we pop into that little boutique store and see what they have in the window, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we encourage our businesses who are not necessarily aligned with some of what we're doing. So for Coco Crawl, we have restaurants that will do, like Mignoli's, a Taiwanese noodle restaurant, and they do their baby ginger tea drink, which is amazing, and they do have an alcoholic version of it if you
love it. Sold. Say less.
But then we of course have businesses that aren't food-based that host pop-up vendors.
Cool.
So Bloom & Co., which is an interior design company business that just opened recently, they're having Catherine Ann Confections in pop-up in their space to do hot chocolate with roasted marshmallows right at.
Oh, I saw the blowtorch. I clocked in on it right away.
So, you know, things like Wine Walk or Taste of Andersonville, a big part of the idea is to get people to come in and just walk around the neighborhood and see what's available. You know, we even have an event coming up at the end of this month that's a health and wellness event to get people to walk into the health and wellness and service businesses in the neighborhood to discover ways they can refresh their lives or their interior spaces, get, you know, posture checks with chiropractors, so everything.
It really does seem like a lot of the festivals that you guys have, because we've talked before many times, you and I are old friends, about different events and things like that. It does seem very family friendly. You're thinking of, you know, kind of the entire community, aren't you?
Yeah. It was so everything is intended to be community oriented. So most of our events are free. You know, we do suggested donations. It's always nice when someone makes a donation. It helps us keep doing what we're doing. Midsummer Fest obviously being sort of our big fundraiser of the year, and we'll have lots of conversations about that, I'm sure. But with the exception of maybe Wine Walk, which I did get an email this year asking, hey, is the Wine Walk kid friendly? And it's kind of I'm not really sure on that one, but
kid that's 21.
Yeah, the purpose of the events is to be community facing and to make it, you know, enjoyable and accessible for anyone. So we see people of all ages coming to every type of event.
I would imagine there's so many aspects of this event that brings people together, but I want to bring up the one that might tear people apart. What is the Great Andersonville Puzzle Throwdown?
Oh man.
Oh, that's different?
It is different.
This happens during Puzzle Exchange. So
because I feel like that's going to turn the people of Andersonville.
It's the real Super Bowl on stage.
Yeah, honestly, and probably will be better.
Probably, yeah.
So we started this last year. This is honestly one of those things. We have what we call our stupid idea board that we have in the office, and we add a bunch of things to it anytime we think of them. And a lot of the best ideas come off the stupid idea board.
Love it.
And this was not a stupid idea, but so we had secret puzzles made and got signups, and contestants would sign up to see who can complete the secret puzzle the fastest. So in Raygun, which is right next to Swedish American Museum on the second floor, from 11 to 2, we're going to have 12 rounds, 3 contestants per round, 36 contestants total, competing to finish the secret Andersonville puzzle as quickly as they can.
Wow.
So it's 48 pieces, and then the fastest times get a prize, and then our one grand prize winner gets a puzzle pack prize from Play Toys and Books, also in the name.
I love how puzzle-oriented you guys are.
Oh, I think last year our fastest time, someone did our 48-piece puzzle in 5 minutes.
Wow.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, for people who want more information, they're wanting to go this weekend for both the Coco Walk and also the Puzzle Madness that's happening. Where can they find some more information?
I think our best place is to follow us on Instagram. You know, I post everything on Instagram with updates on things that are happening in terms of times or when things have started, you know, the lines that start at Puzzle Exchange. And our website is also, of course, a great source of information. All of our events are listed there. We have Andersonville Restaurant Week coming up that's being promoted on there right now.
Do you need to get tickets ahead of time for this, or is it kind of a walk up and
Coffee and Cocoa Crawl is ticketed. It sells pretty quickly. I haven't checked the ticket sales today, but one of the things that we do offer is if people haven't checked in by noon, then we release those tickets.
Oh, cool.
We have people that wait to see if they can get tickets.
Maybe there'll be scalpers or something on the street.
I hope not. And then Puzzle Exchange is free. So anyone can come to Puzzle Exchange. We're going to be collecting puzzles outside the Swedish American Museum, and then people can get in line. The lines for that have been getting pretty long. So I would say by 9 a.m. you can expect to see a line down the block waiting to get in. But it's very well organized. You walk in around a few tables, find puzzles that are all sorted by the number of pieces, and people are generally in and out.
Charlie, this is so cool.
This is great.
Yeah, it's
going to
fun,
be a great weekend. Congratulations. And honestly, at the rate you're on this show, we'll see you in about 3 days.
Yeah, hey, I got another event in 2 weeks. So.
See, exactly. I wasn't wrong.
All right, Charlie, I'll see you
Charlie, we
then.
appreciate you, man.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. We'll be right back.
Why did you leave me?
Why did you betray your own heart?
Where is the obstacle?
Oh, that is all I need to see.
That's it. They're sold. Well-cut trailer.
Sold.
A little Charlie XCX song going on in the background. I love this movie. I got to be honest with you. I did not think. I don't think I'm necessarily the target audience for Wuthering Heights.
I probably am.
Yeah, you probably are. I thought it was going to be much more of kind of a traditional period piece romance, like a Pride and Prejudice. But I never read Wuthering Heights in high school. It wasn't one of our assigned novels, and so I didn't really know much about what the story was. But it's basically the story. It's basically like an 18th century toxic relationship. It's like, what if both of these people were just awful, terrible people? And it makes for kind of a great movie. And I think it's going to do so well over Valentine's Day weekend. It opens next Friday. Kind of the perfect movie,
that is perfect.
And we had the chance to chat with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. I mean, two of the hottest. I mean, Margot Robbie's, arguably one of the biggest stars in the world. Jacob Elordi really has blown up on the scene. Started with Euphoria, and then obviously he just was Oscar nominated for Frankenstein, and his name is in the ring in the Bond conversation. He would be a great Bond. But one of the things I wanted to bring up, in addition to we talk about the poster, which I think is going to be kind of an iconic poster, but a lot of people ask me about actors shooting sex scenes.
Yeah.
And they always say, well, it looked very real. And I go, okay, but the only reason you saw it is because a cameraman was there.
That's
the
true.
only reason you saw it is because the lighting crew was there. The only reason you saw it is because a director was there calling action and calling cut. So however real it looked, there's about 50 more people in the room than you're thinking about. So whenever I spoke with Margot and Jacob, we talked about people's misconceptions of what goes into shooting a sex scene. And at the end of the day, it boils down to there are a lot more people in the room than you may think.
Do you want me to stop?
As long as they've been a part of cinema history, sex scenes, I think, have fascinated audiences. And I think it's because a lot of people have a difficult time wrapping their brain around what it would take to shoot something intimate
kind of with a stranger in front of a lot of people. I'd love to know from your perspective, what do you think is the biggest misconception audiences have about what it takes to pull off a scene like that on the day?
I think audiences don't realize how many people are on a set and how close everyone is to each other. I think it looks, hopefully, like a very intimate moment between your characters that you're watching, but really 3 feet that way is your grip and your camera operator and your spark, and like it's just like it's a lot of people.
It's also kind of no different to choreographing a fight scene or a dance sequence. It's super technical, depending on, especially the scene where it's not a sex scene, but where I'm on top of you with my hands. That's choreographed because the lens in that kind of light, you only have this much space to move. So what you do has to fit in the frame and work with the lighting. So it's a super technical thing, you know. So kiss me and let us both be damned.
This image is about to be on the walls of it. To me, honest to God, it feels like a generational poster in the way that the Titanic poster was.
What we wanted it to be like something that people would be like, I actually want to buy that poster
and put it
have it
on the wall. Because I know they have days where like you shoot the poster image and stuff. Can you walk me through like the shooting of that image?
So we were looking at the Gone with the Wind poster, and look, we're like, wouldn't it be great if we, that we were going for this golden age Hollywood sort of thing. And I feel like in golden age Hollywood films, every time they kiss, it's like she falls into his arm and they're like this, and Clark Gable or whoever it is. So we were kind of going for that old Hollywood
Mario
feeling.
made pina coladas.
I did make pina coladas that day.
In the morning, so we had pina coladas for breakfast.
We had pina coladas for breakfast, and then we did our poster shoot.
We did that.
How long does something like that, like how many different takes are you guys doing? Like, is it a...
Three pina coladas.
Three pina coladas.
Three pina coladas worth. So about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
About 10 minutes.
We're going to have more from Margot and Jacob next week. The movie opens on Friday the 13th, on February 13th, Valentine's Day weekend. And we talk, I bring up something. So the movie is about this toxic relationship, right? And yes, Jacob Elordi's clearly like he's a good-looking guy, but he plays kind of not a great guy in the movie. But walking out of the theater, he plays a character named Heathcliff, and I heard a woman say, when am I going to meet my Heathcliff? And I didn't know her, so I didn't say anything. But in my mind, I thought, did you and I just see
the same
two
movie?
different movies? Because I mean that, and so I talked with him about this idea of like people potentially misinterpreting what the movie has to say. But
that's a good question.
Well, they have a good answer.
Well, back to your piece that you just did. Great work, by the way, as always, Jake. But I'm glad that you mentioned that poster, because I've been seeing that poster
Great
around,
poster.
Including on my daily commute home.
Sure.
And now I'm going to think of pina coladas
exactly
every time I see it.
Because most people don't realize, for those kinds of posters, there is kind of the promotional shoot day. They take a day and have to sit there in a studio and shoot different images. They see, if you see different promotional images, they have to take those photos, and there's usually a day dedicated to that. And I love now every time I see that poster, I will think they're a little tipsy while taking that. So that's kind of a fun. So we were challenged to pick I love a good romance film. I think I'm a guy, I love a romance film in the same way that I love an action film or whatever the case may be. And you and I each picked three different ones that we like, and I'm gonna let you go first.
But Jake, here's the thing. Can I be honest with you? Because I'm just like not as much of a movie fanatic as you are. Well, you're another level. But sometimes I'm not like remembering the names of things.
That's okay.
Like having to draw up my memory. So I really looked up romance movies. And then I looked at the list of them, and I'm like, which ones do I like from this list? So I picked A Walk to Remember.
Sure.
50 First Dates.
Love it.
I love 50 First Dates. And then I picked The Notebook for my number one. Notebook absolutely wrecks me every single time, and it's a very cliche one to pick, but I just...
listen, there's a reason, we were talking about, iconic posters that were hung on people's walls. I mean, that is a romance film that kind of defined a generation. There was I don't mean to be in a name-droppy way, but I interviewed Ryan Gosling one time and asked him how The Notebook kind of changed kind of his dating life after that, and he said that so often, he said like he went on a date with someone who said, who got mad and was basically like, you're not the kind of guy that would build me a house. And he was like, it's a character. It's a character that I'm playing.
Interesting.
And I think the point of that is that it changed people's expectations of what
And it
you know,
brings
they
up
wanted
another
their
point with rom-coms. People who are obsessed with rom-coms, you mentioned this before the show while we were talking, and it has to do with one of your picks.
Yeah, so one of my picks, the three that I picked just off the top of my head, one of them is a film called 500 Days of Summer, which if you've never seen it, it's a really great rom-com starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zooey Deschanel. And it's basically about this young guy who grew up watching rom-coms and based his expectation on love on what he saw in movies. And that can be a very dangerous thing because love tends to be a little messier than a scripted 2-hour movie. And it's him falling in love with a girl, but then starting to realize that life is not a rom-com. Life is not does not get scripted the way you think it is. If you haven't seen it, a truly fantastic film. I picked Titanic.
Titanic, which I should have put on my list.
Classic, old school, big Hollywood blockbuster that they don't make anymore. And then I picked a little film called Meet Joe Black. Super underrated romance film from the late 90s starring Brad Pitt and Anthony Hopkins. If you've never seen it, beautiful Thomas Newman score, one of my all-time favorites.
Another one that I have to watch. Jake Hamilton, thank you for coming in today.
Of course.
It's always a pleasure.
I love anytime. You know what? If Tia can't be here, listen, Tia is 10 times the host.
Tia's getting a very well-deserved vacation, actually. So
I'll be here next week. Exactly right.
Baby,
exactly. I'm here next week.
Okay, I hope you all have a good weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Maybe you won't enjoy it. Maybe you'll enjoy the snacks. Who knows? But we will see you right here next week.